On today's video, we have a question from Rebecca,
Yep.
and Rebecca's wondering, I have 4 different investment accounts, she says, my 401k at work, an IRA, a Roth IRA, and something that's just labeled as an individual account. Which one should I withdraw from first when I retire next year and need income? We're going to ask financial advisor Frank Oliver coming up next on today's video. All right, Frank, so what do you think about Rebecca's question here?
I think Rebecca's got an awesome question.
What order do I take money out of these different accounts?
Yeah, that's an awesome question.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Rebecca is actually asking that question because
For
I think
sure.
a lot of times people default to their largest account, which may be their 401k plan. Right?
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that as the default, but that makes sense.
Typically
That
what we
mention
see.
it. Okay.
Yeah. The most money, that's the one that you're going to deplete the slowest. So that's typically the one that you go to. You really need to look at this from a tax standpoint, I believe, and determine what your tax bracket is. Again, I know I talk about this all the time, but what your budget is, how much money do you need coming out of that account? And if it's coming from an IRA or 401k, the more you put out of that, the higher tax bracket that could possibly place you in.
Okay.
So maybe it's a blend of the accounts. Okay.
I never thought about that, right? It doesn't have to be all from one account.
That's right. That's exactly right. So maybe you blend the accounts, right?
Okay.
Taking advantage of the standardized deduction, so you can pull so much out of the IRA or 401k, use the standardized deduction to offset all of those taxes, and then supplement the income possibly from an individual or a Roth account. So there's a lot of tax strategies that you can use in there to blend the accounts to pull income out of there, lower your tax bracket, preserving your assets, giving less to the government, and producing more income for yourself. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a one account versus another account answer. So,
Great answer to see. There are a lot of strategies that you could utilize. Such a simple question, but unlocks so many different possibilities.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
Great
Very
question, Rebecca.
Yeah,
you win
awesome question
of the day. Best question of the day from Rebecca.
Best question of the year so far.
Yeah, there you
Yes,
go.
that's right.
That's right. Still a little early, but you're in the running at least, Rebecca.
That's right.
All right. Well, if you've got questions like this is the kind of thing that can often spark a conversation with Frank and his team at Oliver Asset Management. So if you've got something like that on your mind, don't hesitate to reach out. Sure, you can leave a question in the comment section if you have something that you're curious about when it comes to retirement planning, but also you can reach out directly to Frank and schedule that time to visit. You can do that online at oliverassetmanagement.com or contact him in any of the ways that you see in the description of today's show. Frank, thanks for the help.
Thank you, Walter.
All right, we'll
Thanks,
see you next
Rebecca.
time on the Time Blueprint. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Oliver Asset Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated entities. Licensed insurance professional. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as advice or a recommendation for your specific circumstances. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Insurance product guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. We are not affiliated with any government agency and do not provide tax or legal advice.